I got to put my hat on. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Nobody in yet. Give it a few minutes. Well, all right, because I don't want to be on here long. So first I'm going to talk about my husband's cousin's son was murdered a few days ago. Um, Tragedy. Mr. Herman Lofton, that's my husband's cousin. His firstborn of 5 children was shot and killed a few nights ago. At the age of 29, he was a postal worker and an inspiring actor who had just landed a few roles in some independent movies. He was driving southbound on Cicero when shots was fired at his vehicle and at another vehicle by an unknown suspect. He was shot in the head, thigh, and armpit. He was rushed to the hospital and succumbed to his injuries. There was also a female in the vehicle with him, but she's in critical condition. She's still alive, but she's in critical condition. So I just want to say rest in peace to Xavier. His name was Xavier Lofton. Good kid. Well, 29, kid to me, but he was a good kid. And just gone too soon at the wrong place at the wrong time. Rest in peace to, I have another relative that passed a few days ago. Her name was Sherry. She was a 59-year-old black female. I'm not going to get into what happened. I'm not absolutely positively sure. I heard she had a fall, hit her head. It landed her in a coma. A few days later, my cousin was gone. So, praying for my family and my husband's family. Okay, Brittany Greer, Brittany Grenier, I got it. Brittany Grenier has been released from prison. I'm sure you all know that by now. Thank God for that. Go home, Brittany, and stay home. Stay up out them states and countries and stuff we don't know nothing about. They don't care about us. Stay away from them. But I'm thankful and grateful that God brought you up out that situation. Okay, a 17-year-old male was sentenced to 40 years in prison, y'all. 40 years for his role in a shooting and carjacking at a Wendy's in Aurora, Illinois. This happened in January of last year, I do believe. But the female that was shot, the victim, she was shot and carjacked and left paralyzed. She was a mother of two. The sentence was a plea agreement. So this guy agreed to the 40 years. So they must have been trying to get him something real big, y'all. Kimberly Waybreen lost the ability to move her legs after she was shot and carjacked on Orchard Road in Aurora. 2 adults were also charged. Edward J. McGee of Harvey, Illinois, right around the corner from me. And then a fourth suspect was killed in a carjacking in Lansing, Illinois, around the corner from me. The group is tied to at least 6 different attempted and successful carjackings, stretching from the Chicago West. Sorry, y'all. When I get to talking fast, I don't know why my words be tripping like that, but let me slow down. Stretching from Chicago West suburbs to Hammond, Indiana. After the January Aurora attack, months went by without an arrest, and they were charged when Crime Stoppers gave a tip and led them to a break in the case, which led to the arrest. Kimberly Waybreen underwent several surgeries to repair a shattered vertebrae, and a bullet was lodged against her spinal cord. So, y'all, we praying for Kimberly Waybreen that someday she'll be able to walk again. Um, thank God that she did survive the injuries. It was another senseless crime. All of this stuff is senseless, but thank God she survived. Today was the earliest sunset of the year for Chicago, y'all. Our sunset at 4:19 p.m. It's gonna get later and later, but this was the first today. Okay, yesterday a Chicago shooting leaves a 15-year-old Chicago public school student dead. Kevin Davis Jr. attended Michelle Clark, my old school. Michelle Clark Magnet High School. Back then, it was a junior high, 6th through 8th, when I attended, but now it's a full blown high school. 5101 West Harrison near Laramie. He left school at 3:16 p.m. and as he walked home, he was shot. They're not clear if the shooters was in a car or on feet at that time. They're still investigating and trying to, resolve this. But he was rushed to Stroger Hospital and was pronounced deceased. Prayers to his family. Rest in heavenly peace, Kevin Davis Jr. A police officer is hospitalized after being shot in Lombard, Illinois. The wounded officer was responding to an armed robbery in progress and was shot by one of the fleeing suspects. One of the suspects was also wounded. Speedy recovery to that officer. They now have 2 people in custody. Okay, a Chicago judge ordered Heather Mack to remain in jail. By the way, Heather Mack is in the MCC, y'all. Yes, she is. She's to remain in jail after denying her motion for a bond. Mack is awaiting trial for the murder of her mother in Bali. Her aunt begged to keep her in custody. Her uncle also pleaded with the judge and expressed that their sense of security would be shattered if she was released. That's a shame when they that afraid of their own niece. She must got some mental stuff going on, y'all. Her family don't even want her out. And I know exactly what I'm talking about. In that instance, you're labeled a menace to society. When your family don't want you, want to have nothing to do with you, you're a menace. Okay, so now, the badly beaten body of a wealthy Chicago socialite, Sheila Von Weismack, 62, of Oak Park. I'm from that area. I grew up in that area. Was found inside the trunk of a taxi parked at the upscale St. Regis Valley Resort in August of 2014. I don't know if y'all remember that, but I remember that very, very clear. That's when I saw this. I said I was going to, bring an update on it. Heather Mack at the time was 19 and pregnant, and her 21-year-old boyfriend, Tommy Schaefer, they both were arrested a day later after the body was found at the hotel, and they were exactly 6 miles away at that hotel when they were captured and incarcerated. And I think that's all I got. Oh, one more I want to touch on. There was a 22-year-old who was also licensed for concealed carry, was in her home. They don't know the age or anything of the suspect that entered her home, but a female came into her home and they got into a verbal altercation. And the 22-year-old who lived at the home, who was a registered concealed to carry owner, pulled her weapon, but unfortunately, she was overpowered and shot and killed, shot in the chest in her own home. That's sad. So rest in peace to her. I saw it earlier, but I didn't write it down, so I don't know the name. I know it happened on, I think, 92nd and Hermitage or something like that. But anyway, yeah, it's sad. Chicago is horrible. My city gone to shit. But anyway, hey to the people in the bushes, how y'all doing? Probably never mind. I ain't gonna say that. But anyway, I guess I'm out of here.